This is a new voice for a new Scotland.
Indylive.radio.
Welcome to Daddy-Daughter Discussions. I'm Kevin.
I'm Cam.
And we're a daddy-daughter team. And what we do is we discuss everything to do with current events and how Cameron navigates through them.
So sit down and relax. Today we are going to be talking about two subjects. One is how the lockdown restrictions have changed, and two is about my experiences on online safety.
So Cam, Nicola Sturgeon has confirmed that the second phase of easing restrictions is happening. Are you happy about that?
Well, I think I am really happy about that because it gives a kind of security a bit more to me, and I feel other people out there that this isn't a thing that's going to be here forever.
You feel as though it's kind of getting better stage by stage.
It's not like I'm going to be stuck inside forever. I can meet my friends again soon. Well, not soon, but
Well, hopefully
hopefully when I'm allowed to.
Yeah, once things start getting a wee bit better, yeah. So the other thing she was saying was that there's going to be kind of like a consultation on whether or not face masks should be kind of mandatory in shops. You know, those kind of face masks that makes everybody look like a dentist. Do you think that's a good idea?
Well, I'm a bit thingy about it because one, I'm kind of think it's a good idea, but two, I don't want to lessen how many face masks doctors, NHS staff and shopkeepers have.
Alright.
We can social distance, but they have to go to everyone every day.
Yeah, I got you.
But I think it is kind of a good idea with, obviously, if someone coughs in it, that might not spread. That you would cough without a mask, because a cough can go like it could spread onto counter, can spread onto, say you're at your local Lidl and someone coughs on a fridge bit, and
then you've touched it.
You've touched the handle, they've touched the food inside trying to get in. Yeah, so if you have a mask, that wouldn't happen as easily, I think.
Alright, okay. So we're kind of moving into this phase 2 thing, so I'm really hoping that this starts picking up a pace like a bit of a snowball going down a hill.
Like last year, we would have even thought this would happen.
No.
Yeah, there was a possibility that one time it could happen.
Yeah.
But we didn't know that.
Well, as far as we knew, was it around January time? There was this talk of this virus in China, and I don't think anybody had any idea that it would just travel the world so fast.
And I remember at night, I would have this bad feeling that it was going to go all over the world and everyone was going to get it, and I would come down to you guys, telling you guys I was scared, you and Mum, and you guys would be like, no it won't, no it won't, it's fine Cameron, it's not going to spread. And now I'm like, you're wrong.
Well, it's not often that we get these things horrendously wrong, but this one was one of those times. So on that, very obviously we brief chat about that. Shall we move on to what the other kind of topic that we were going to talking about?
Yes.
Which was how you handle or how you deal with online safety as a kid.
And my experiences.
And your experiences, yeah. So, Cam, you have a computer in your room. And your mum and me trust you with that. What kind of things have we taught you, and what kind of things do you do when you're online to keep yourself safe?
Well, when I'm online, if there's a possibility that I could have a private account, I'm straight on that.
So explain what a private account is.
A private account is an account that's only you can see, unless I think some places you can let your friends see sometimes, but a private account is basically, it's private, it's just yours.
And what kind of things do you use that have private accounts?
Well, I'm right now I don't have TikTok, but I use that on Snapchat.
And one of the things that we were very clear on with Snapchat is what's the rule with Snapchat if you use it?
Okay, I can only use it in the room with you guys an hour a day. I am not to interact with anyone else, no accepting friend requests that are not from my primary.
Or from people you know.
Yeah.
Okay. So when you're using, say for example, you're playing Roblox at the moment.
Yeah.
When in Roblox, tell me what kind of happens on there and what kind of experiences you've had and kind of things that you've, obviously things that you've done to kind of make sure you're safe.
Well, when I used to play it a lot, I would get sick of people like chasing after me, trying to ask me questions, because I don't want to speak to them. I don't speak to anyone unless they're my friends on the chat. So I used to just, I'm not allowed to speak to strangers.
Right.
There's a lot of creeps on the internet who can hide behind a thing, and some of these people get really smart.
Behind what? Just so
a
that
computer screen or a phone screen.
And kid on to be someone else potentially.
You could think that they're your best friend. Your best friend is this account, and you obviously friend it. It could be just a creep. Who's trying to get your information, sucking you in,
trying to
acting like your friend.
Yeah. So what kind of things do you? What kind of things do you watch out for when you're on these games or in these on these kind of things on these online games? What kind of things do you kind of think I need to watch out for? I need to be careful of that person. There's something weird. Or do you just kind of say if you haven't been given their user account, one of your friends that you've met in person, do you accept or even talk to them? Like, see if I'm on a Roblox server with my friend and their friend joins, I'm not going to interact to them just because they're my friend's friend. I don't know them in real life, and most of the time you don't know how they got that number. My
friends don't even know who they are in real life.
Right.
I remember one time I was playing Roblox with my friend and I was showing her something. She's like, you have 7 friends on Roblox? That's kind of sad. I'm like, I don't friend creeps.
Or you don't friend too many people that you don't know, I suppose.
I don't friend anyone who I don't know.
Yeah. What do you do in this situation if someone has kind of said something in the chat or done something in the chat that you don't like? What do you do in that instance?
Well, for one, I go to talk to you. Like this one time, there's this game called Royal High and it has a piano in it. And I was playing it because I was learning how to use it and it was quite fun. And I'm not kidding. As soon as I started playing that, people were coming up to me like, get off. And stuff like that. And they were using loads of swear words trying to get me off. But Roblox uses this thing where if you try to swear, it will just
block you.
It will you do hashtags.
Right, so it's like a censor.
But people are really smart and they can figure out ways
to write something.
For one of the words I remember seeing, they used this thing. It was like SS. A, and then they did space.
Right.
And then SS.
Right.
A, and I'm like, come on. And I went into a server once and everyone was swearing at each other using these thingies.
Using kind of like a different. Right. So what would you do in that instance? What I would do is I would look at the chat and I would take it up and then I would go tell my dad. He would come into my room and look at it and I would be like, could I just go, I'm just going to go on another server. Because see, if you confront them, it just gives them a sense of, I've got to her. So you give them exactly the opposite. I just leave the game. Okay. So you've kind of said as well, and I know this is somewhat online, somewhat not, you've obviously got a phone that we've given to you for visiting friends or anything you need to contact us. and you use it to like watch your videos and YouTube videos and things like that. But what do you do, for example, if someone phones you that you don't recognise the number?
I tell you, I give it to either mum or you, and I say, I don't know who this number is, could you pick it up? And it's usually companies like, have you ever, were you in a car crash in 2013? And you're like, no. And it's just like, come on.
So Cam, can you kind of give me an idea, or kind of tell me kind of like examples of kind of things that you've seen that you think, oh, that's just not safe at all?
Well, there has been a couple of times I'm like, is that really the best way to go around with being safe online?
So tell us.
So one time in class we were learning about online safety, and the teacher was telling us about it, and one of my classmates said that people on TikTok were going around saying, if I get these amount of likes, I'll put my number on Instagram. And the teacher's like, have you ever done that? And the classmate was like,
What kind of face did she make?
Like,
or was it, did she kind of look awkward?
She looked awkward and like she was up to something.
All right, so she looked as though she'd done it.
And she was probably thinking about it all day in class, and then was like, well, actually, to the teacher. And it was like, so funny. She was trying to come up with an excuse to the teacher, not an excuse.
Get out a jail card. Right. Okay, so obviously she was doing that. Why shouldn't she do something like that?
Well, I don't think she should do something like that because, one, your number can give you loads of information about yourself.
Well, your number's out there.
Your number's out there, and people could be creeps and try to call you and stuff and they are really smart by getting your information.
So kind of get from one phone number, getting more information about you.
So my second story is about Snapchat. And one time this girl, she posted a Snapchat story of her brother coming home, and you could see it was a round street. You could see the number plates of the cars. You could see where it is, and multiple videos like this. One time I walked past it like, that's
where it is.
That where it is. And it was like, you should not post things that are outside your house or could give away that it was your house. And two, if you're going to do that, blur out the number plates. Try to blur
or stay away from them, because people would be able. Many people might not be tech enough to kind of blur it out.
People are like, it's like really bad to have things like that, because even though they can go away, people can still screen record stuff like that.
Yeah, and take kind of screenshots of it and things like that. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. So here's a real question for you. Okay, you're a young kid and your parents have given you things to access the internet, or if they've not done so already, because it is like 2020.
Yeah, you can't keep it away from your children.
What would your rules be for keeping a kid safe online?
If something seems sketchy, or you don't know the full story or something like that, like someone comes up like, hi, I'm your age and I love doing this, can we be friends? Just because they're the same age as you,
well,
and they like doing some things, doesn't mean they're a real person.
Yeah, exactly. You don't know if that's a real person or if that's like, a guy or a woman or whatever. An
old person trying to creep.
Yeah. So what other kind of bits of advice would you give?
Do not, and I repeat, do not meet up with strangers.
And why shouldn't you do that?
It kind of is self-explanatory. They could just be lying about who they are, and then when you come and meet them, they could just kidnap you.
Well, yeah.
And
hopefully not.
If you're going to meet someone from the internet you think that would be good friends with, bring someone to, and make sure it is a public area, and be
make sure it's maybe
older.
an adult.
Make sure it's an adult. Make sure you FaceTime them.
You know who they are. You've got proof that this is a real
person.
Yeah. Okay. What should you never ever give people when you're online chatting, if you are?
Your information about you or your family.
No full names, no ages, no dates of birth, nothing like that.
I think we're going to finish there, but we'll see you in the next podcast. Bye! Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed our podcast, please tune in at the same time next week.
This is a new voice for a new Scotland.
Indylive.radio.